Hi everyone, I'm Clarissa Williams. I am the host of Cookeville Now, Highlands Insider, and Shine Messengers. We are here on this day for Flag Day, so many things going on, and we wanted to bring you some coverage. And we know there's a lot of events going on, but we think this is the most important event today. So we decided to come out and talk with our friend Grant. Grant, it's nice to see you today.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me on.
I met you at the Upper Cumberland Republican Women's Meeting this past Tuesday, and you were talking about this event you guys are doing today and this new program you're working with. Can you tell our audience a little bit about the program and what you guys were doing today?
So, Americans for Prosperity is the premier grassroots organization in the country. We're in 38 states working to promote the American dream and empower people to pursue their own American dream. So, part of that, what that looked like today, was we went out and thanked people for flying the American flag on Flag Day. Wanted to let them know that they were not alone and there are other conservatives who are active in this area, and as well promote our next event coming up on June 25th and let them know that there's ways to get involved, ways to be engaged, and really show their love for this country.
So tell us about the event that's coming up.
So it is a Liberty letter writing event. It's on June 25th, and we'll be writing thank you letters to Congressman John Rose and the other members of the Tennessee state delegation, thanking them for supporting President Trump in his big, beautiful bill, and specifically the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act.
Well, we know there are a lot of people who have questions about that. If they have questions about the bill itself, is there a way they can reach out and get information?
Yes, absolutely. They can reach out to me via my email. It is ggammon@afphq.org, or they can reach out to me via my phone number. My office phone number is 931 319 3806.
And we'll grab a copy of your flyer and we'll have it and share it in the video as well. So if you want to get involved in that, make sure to reach out to Grant. Tell us how that this coincides with your faith.
Well, this really coincides with my faith in that America being one of the most free countries in the world, where we're able to openly practice our faith, is so important to go out and really show the values that we have, support the values, our Christian values. And I'll give you an example. Today, when we were door knocking, one of the folks that we knocked on his door, he also was waving the Christian flag. And he let us know that he had a stroke recently, and that we would be praying for him, but that he would also be praying for us and our mission, because it's so important that we support each other, Republicans, conservatives, and really show our true Christian values.
Yes, there are other things that we can see from what's going on in Israel. There's all kinds of things that can create controversy, that can create things where people are afraid. But from our Christian perspective, we know who holds tomorrow. And that's that's the most important thing, is not only do we want to support conservative Christian causes, because there are some folks who may not be Christian, but they are still going to be impacted by this bill. I know today there is another event going on across the country. It's Trump's birthday.
Yes.
I bet you guys thought I was going to say something else, but I'm not. So happy birthday, President Trump. And we know that this particular bill, if it isn't passed, for those that aren't aware, taxes are going to go up like we've never seen before, because taxes that were implemented in the previous administration and those that had carried over from President Trump's first term actually would be non-existent. So you're going to pay more in taxes if this bill does not pass. But more importantly, in this bill, if I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, we have no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security. I really don't know how you could disagree with those things. Personally, I think that that is just absolutely crazy that people would be taxed on those things. What are some of the other key components of this bill that people should be aware of, that they may have gotten misinformation or not the full story?
A big thing is the child tax credit. So, in addition, like what you're saying, the personal tax that people will pay is up to $2,500 more for Tennesseans. That's just Tennesseans. It
Mm.
could be more for people in other states. And the child tax credit is an additional $1,000 per child. So, I spoke with a local pastor in the Cookeville area. He's a father of 6.
Wow.
And so this bill not being passed could be, uh, especially with how things are with inflation,
Yes.
could really put him in a difficult financial position.
Well, and I think there's a lot of people right now that are seeing components from inflation from just everyday life. Every component of life is being impacted.
Yeah.
So things like this are things we should champion and get behind. Whether it's passed or it's not passed, you will be impacted.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to make sure. So for people who want to support that, what advice would you give them?
I would recommend that you reach out to your legislator. And thankfully, here in Tennessee, we have incredible lawmakers all across the board. However, it's important to thank them and let them know that they're doing a good job. One thing that we speak about so often is the loud minority, especially here in Tennessee. And we want to let our lawmakers know that they do still hold the majority, that our opinion is to stand with them and to stand with what they're doing in the House, supporting President Trump and all his initiatives.
Yes. Well, we do have the other national protests going on, so I will mention it. I find it interesting that we have so many people coming to Cookeville. If you do a search on social media, you can see where people are getting paid $150 to $200 a day. I thought about going up and seeing if I could get $200 to cover it since I would be there. But if you look at the chatter on social media, people are talking about how they want to be heard and how they want to protest, which I believe in the Second Amendment rights. I believe in being able to have free speech. I believe if you are protesting peacefully, that is part of the American dream, as well as the pursuit of happiness and life and liberty. But we don't want to support anything that is unlawful. So as we look at this and we see things going on today, I am so happy to be able to do a story like this, because these are the types of stories that make being an American so awesome. So thank you guys. Thank you for your team. What are some things that you all saw when you were knocking on doors and just saying thank you to people for showing their patriotic American pride?
A big thing that we saw was veterans. Usually there was a family member directly related to the person flying the flag, or the person themselves were a veteran. And so they really knew what that flag meant. With what they sacrificed in their time or lives. We spoke with a gentleman at his door, and he was flying the American flag because he lost his brother in Vietnam, and just very powerful.
I think that all of our veterans, all of our military deserves standing ovations at all times, and they don't often get the recognition that they should. A lot of times we hear about those things, but today is also the U.S. Army's birthday.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things going on, but it's an awesome time to be an American. It is a wonderful time to be able to share how awesome God is and all of the things that He puts us here to do. And I'm so thankful to be able to hear about the programs that you guys have. And I'm very encouraged because of the young people like yourself that are not afraid to take a stand for values.
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank y'all for what you do as well.
Was there anything you would like to share with our audience, or any shout outs for your team that you want to give?
I'd like to shout out all the volunteers who came out today. Too many to list individually, but I really appreciate them coming out, knocking on doors, talking with people. We had positive interactions across the board, and so it was very good for everyone involved. But as well, just know that if you want to get involved in your community, we're just getting started out here in the Upper Cumberland region. And so I would love to connect with you as we continue to do events like this, door knocking, writing letters, making phone calls to support President Trump and good conservative economic values.
Well, I should have mentioned this earlier. We have a new program, a new podcast channel starting soon. It's a national channel called Red, Right, and Blue, like writers. And this will be something we will ask you guys to come in and do an interview, or if there's times that you think we need to get the word out about something, we would be more than happy to have you guys on that channel as well.
Okay, well, you got your first subscriber right here. So
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thank you guys for tuning in. And as I always say, I'll see you the next time. And stay positive, be bright, be bold, be a light, and don't let anyone else put your light out.